All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 130 and 135 and 147 pound divisions, where Bob Arum turns into Nostradamus, and what he said about Terence Crawford and why the Errol Spence Jr. fight would not happen has been in part validated by Stephen Espinosa. Also, really does point to why I'm really liking that Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis have a different mentality. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147 pound division and the 135 pound division, where some information has come out, or a statement was made by Stephen Espinosa of Showtime relative to the Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia fight. And in the middle of his conversation, he pointed out a problem that was there that is related to the Gervonta Davis fight with Ryan Garcia. That is a reason why, according to him, one of the reasons why the Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford fight didn't get made, and that is pay-per-view predictions and piracy of pay-per-view shows. Something that Bob Arum himself months and months and months ago had said was the reason why he didn't believe that Terence Crawford would fight Errol Spence. And I'm going to also give you my opinion on this, which is that, look, man, that's a bunch of malarkey. If this is the reason why, or one of the reasons why, man, look, dude, I'm not feeling it. But real quick, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you so much for your continued support. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Now, let's get to it. Bob Arum, a long time ago, said that one of the reasons why he believed that Terence Crawford was going to be hesitant to fight Errol Spence Jr. was because of the fact that he was going to be offered back in money, and that he did not have faith in pay-per-view or being able to sell pay-per-views, because pay-per-views now are not selling like they used to. So he was going to be hesitant in fighting Errol Spence Jr. and we're having to rely upon pay-per-view revenue to make that fight. Now, Stephen Espinosa was asked, and I do believe this was on DAZN Boxing's show, about the pay-per-views for the Ryan Garcia-Gervonta Davis fight, or Ryan Garcia-Gervonta Davis fight, whoever you think the A side is, the Gervonta Davis-Ryan Garcia fight. And he said something to the effect of, look, if you predict 2 million pay-per-views and it comes in at 1.2 million, is that a disappointment? No, you should not consider that a disappointment. You just need to set your expectations correctly and just realize that, look, it's been a while since a pay-per-view has been sold over 1 million pay-per-views. They said the last one that he believes was over 1 million pay-per-views was the Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo Alvarez fight. But the biggest pay-per-views since then have been Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant, that did around 800,000 pay-per-views, and also the Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 2, they got somewhere in that same ballpark of 800,000 pay-per-views. And that now, because of the piracy of pay-per-views, that it's not selling as many pay-per-views as people used to sell. Now, and that is one of the reasons why, just like Bob Arum said, that it was a hang-up for the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight, because people were not certain about how many pay-per-views would be sold. Okay, now first, let me tell you this. 100% I understand that pay-per-views are, there's a lot of people that can pirate or steal pay-per-views, without a doubt. Now, here's the problem that I have. You get paid what you sell You get, first of all, the fact that you can be in a boxing match and fight somebody and do 800,000 pay-per-views, right? And you can do a gate of $15 million, between $5 and $15 million. And you say, okay, I'm going to walk away fighting and say that you're going to walk away making $15 million in the fight instead of making $25 million in the fight. Boo-hoo, cry me a river is what I have to say about that. Boo-hoo, cry me a river. What human beings, how can you say, like you take, for example, Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. They're not sure about what their pay-per-views are going to do. They're not getting gigantic guarantees for those fights, right? So I've not heard anyone say that Ryan Garcia is getting a $20 million guarantee to fight Gervonta Davis, or that Gervonta Davis is getting a $25 million guarantee to be fighting Ryan Garcia. The only thing that I've heard is that what the split is, right? If the split, I think the split is supposed to be like 60-40, 60% for Gervonta Davis, 40% for Ryan Garcia. The other, what they're going to make their money off is how many people actually buy the fights and whatever percentage of the gate that they get along with sponsorships for the fights or what have you. Whoever's going to pay money to put the logos, logo to whether Tecati's going to pay for it and get logos in the ring, or who's going to be putting patches on people's trunks in order to, sell the fight, in order to have their stuff advertised. So for me, it's like everything should be equal, right? And the fact that, that pay-per-view piracy is a risk for people, it should be that's an even playing field for everybody, right? Now, I would love it if what Stephen Espinosa said was the solution was, I understand what he's saying is the solution, which is, look, vote with your pockets. If you actually want to see the fight and want to see these guys in these big fights, then buy the pay-per-view, right? Don't pirate the pay-per-view and then complain that you're not getting big fights because you're stealing it. That's like going to a grocery store, a neighborhood store, and you shoplift out of the store. Then, before you know it, the store is out of business, and now you got to go to some big chain, right, that doesn't give you the customer service that you want, or they're selling you dusty old candy that you don't like. Well, look, man, you should, if the people that you liked and were in business before, if you would have supported them and not shoplifted from them, there's a chance they still be in business. But whatever the case is, that is a risk with everybody. The idea that somehow should excuse, and I know that Stephen Espinosa is not saying that or isn't. He isn't saying it, and he's not saying it, right? But that's just, to me, it's like, look, if you really want to get the big paydays and get people to make, to more and more people to buy pay-per-views, then you've got to give people better fights to watch the pay-per-views on. Right? Or you're just going to have to settle down and say, hey, guess what? People aren't paying the same money that they used to pay for the same thing. Do I want to be in the business? And since the what a pay-per-view fight now can get you is 500, 600, 700, 800,000 pay-per-views. And instead of walking away with 40 million, 50, 45, $50 million, you just have to suffer through making $15, $20 million for the big fight. I mean, it is what it is. That's what the market's going to bear. I don't see how you go. Now, this is definitely a problem where you say, okay, well, what is the model going to be? Well, the model is going to be then you're only going to get a big certain fights if a network decides to foot the entire bill to give people, to guarantee everybody their money going into it. Man, that's not a recipe for boxing doing very well. And as a boxing fan, man, honestly, dude, I'm not trying to hear it. $15 million, $15 million for a fight. Anything that you get paid over $15 million for a fight is gravy. And I mean it, gravy. $15 million for 45 minutes of getting into a fight, being in a boxing match for $15 million, and you're upset that the pay-per-views, I don't know if I'm going to get 30 or not. You ain't getting 30 if you can't get 30 through the pay-per-views, you shouldn't be getting 30 anywhere. But anyway, that's just my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comments section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.